Hello everybody, welcome back. Shall we start our collective worship? Good afternoon everyone. The Lord be with you. Now we're going back to the parables, having yesterday been looking at VE Day. So we're going back to some parables of Jesus. And today we are thinking about the parable of the lost sheep. So another famous parable. And the value that's linked with that we're going to think about is the value of joy. So, here we have a picture of a boy, and I wonder how you think this boy is feeling in that picture. I know it says joy at the top of it. What are the clues that he might be feeling joyful and happy and excited and pleased, all those kind of feelings? I wonder why you think he feels like that. Is there something that's happening? You can see he's been given a trophy. I wonder what he's got that trophy for. It could be for something sporting. It could be he's been given an award at school for some good work. It could be all sorts of different things. And I wonder, it looks like he's at school or somewhere. I wonder when he goes home to show his family. It looks like it wasn't expecting it, and so he's absolutely thrilled. And you can imagine going home to tell all his family, and they will then have that feeling as well, won't they? They'd also be feeling thrilled and excited for him. Now, I'm going to tell you a story, which was the parable of the lost sheep. This is from Luke chapter 15, and it's verses 4 to 6. And Jesus said this: "If any of you has 100 sheep and one of them gets lost, what will you do? Won't you leave the 99 in the field and then go and look for the lost sheep until you find it? And when you find it, you will be so glad that you'll put it on your shoulder and you'll carry it home. And then you'll call in your friends and neighbours and say, 'Let's celebrate! I found my lost sheep.'" Now, I wonder how, if a shepherd had lost one of his sheep and he'd gone to find it, looked everywhere and then eventually found it, I wonder how he would be feeling, what his emotion would be when he arrived home with it. And I have some emojis on here, some emotion faces. I wonder which one of those he would be feeling. And I'm going to retell the story, and I'm going to put some feelings, say the words of some feelings, and when you hear the one that sounds like one of these, you can see if you can spot which emoji would go in that bit of the story. And actually, if you're able to do this and pause it, you will notice that there are some letters underneath, and the older children, you might like to, when you hear one, write down the letter of the emoji that goes, and at the end, those 6 in the right order will spell a word. Okay, so we'll see how we get on. I don't know if we're able to do it in this way. There was once a shepherd who had 100 sheep. He knew and loved each one of them. Loved is your first emoji. Can you see which emoji that would be? And you can write down the letter. Every day the shepherd took his sheep out onto the hills to find grass for them to eat. It was tiring work. Tiring is your next emoji. When he returned home, the shepherd counted his sheep back into the fold as usual, but on this day he only got to 99. The shepherd was horrified. Okay, that's your next emoji. One of his precious sheep was missing. The shepherd left the other 99 and went out into the night, determined to find the sheep who was lost before a wolf found it first. So determined. Which of those expressions looks like a determined face? After he had walked many miles, he heard a faint cry. The shepherd followed the sound and, to his relief, found the sheep trapped but unharmed. So which of those emojis shows a relieved looking face, someone who's got full of relief? He gently freed the little sheep and he carefully carried it home. When he got back, he woke everyone up. "Let's have a party," he shouted excitedly. "You must celebrate with me because the sheep that was lost is found." Excitedly, which is the excited looking face. If you have put those all together, I wonder what word you might have got. Now, I wonder if in our school, when we're all back together, when we've had break time and everybody comes back and sits back either on the carpet or on the chairs in their classroom, I wonder, do we notice if there's somebody not there? I think you usually do, don't you? And then somebody will go and look for them, or someone will say, "Oh, I know, they've gone to take a message," or they're still hanging their coat up in the cloakroom. Usually somebody will always notice. And I wonder what would happen if we didn't. What would happen if the teachers didn't notice that there was somebody there? Or if, when we're allowed to go out again and we're not in lockdown, if your family goes shopping and one of the family members goes missing, I am fairly sure that the rest of the family would look for that person. You wouldn't just say, "Oh, it doesn't matter, there's other people in the family." So we always care. In school, we care for everybody in our class, in our school. In our families, we care for people in our families, don't we? And that's a bit like this parable. The parable of the lost sheep is also sometimes called the parable of the good shepherd, because the shepherd had 100 sheep, but he cared for every single one of them, didn't he? He didn't want to lose one of them. And so Christians believe that God is like a shepherd, caring for each of his children. And I have a prayer for us here with rather a nice poster called "Only One of Us." So I'm going to hold it up. I'm going to say the prayer, and if you want to join at the end, you can say Amen. Thank you, Father God, for loving every one of us as if there was only one of us. Amen. And so that's a poster of emojis with one face coloured in. That's quite nice, I like that. I hope you are all still keeping well. I hope you're enjoying all the VE Day activities that the teachers and teaching assistants have put online for you to try some brilliant things to do. I've seen some of the pictures of things you've been doing and they're great. Keep up the good work, everybody. Okay, so let's go in the peace of Christ. Bye-bye.